People expect Indiana state government to have to make the same tough choices in our spending that people have to make in their lives right now and businesses are having to make.
As legislators enter their final week of session, budget worries take center stage. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Julie Kreisen. The focus was on the economy at this morning's third House meeting, and state legislators have just 1 week to get their bills passed. Kristen Majorano tells us what to expect in the week ahead.
It's crunch time at the State House.
This week is what we call the week for concurrences or certainly dissents.
Legislators like State Representative Sheila Klinker plan to be out by Friday, Sunday at the latest.
Our deadline is usually March 14th, and I believe we'll be actually working to finish up a week early, save the state some money.
In the meantime, they plan to be busy this week trying to pass several different bills. One of the most talked about is one that would allow public school systems to reallocate their finances to avoid teacher layoffs. There's a version in the House and one in the Senate. Klinker says the Senate bill is most likely to pass.
There will be a meeting of the minds, and we'll be able to bring those two educational issues together.
In the whirlwind of the coming week, State Senator Brant Hirschman says his main priority is curbing spending as much as possible.
You have to be careful. You know, it's very similar to raiding your retirement account or your 401k to pay your monthly bills. If times are terrible, you may have to do that for a short period of time, but over the long term, it's not a very good way to manage your budget.
And when money must be spent, legislators want to make sure it's being spent fairly. Hirschman and Klinker addressed a pending lawsuit against the state that alleges the state doesn't spread the wealth equitably among school systems.
We created a funding formula that recognizes those issues, but it has been very difficult to find the political will to equalize the funding in a way that's truly appropriate.
And I think if nothing else, maybe the lawsuit will bring the legislators to the point where they will discuss this in an interim study committee.
And it wasn't just legislators who had something to say. Indiana Secretary of State Todd Rokita was a special guest at Saturday's meeting.
As office holders, whether you're in the legislative branch of government or the executive branch, we need to do a better job of listening. I heard a lot of lecturing today, but really the key is to listen.
Rokita says he hopes the third House will incorporate more input from the executive branch in the future. Kristen Majorano, News Channel 18.